Yeah, like Citadel will have a whole team that all they do is analyze the price of aluminum.
Yeah, they will. So
Like
Citadel
future prices of
has
aluminum.
pods of certain teams or people where they're set up to watch things like that. Can you imagine 5 people just watching aluminum prices and aluminum all day?
Aluminum futures and what plant had a fire, what plant is expanding, and what country this and that, and what are the delivery timelines, and what should the future price be of, you know.
So imagine 400 PhDs or people with mathematic degrees all looking at that, and all of a sudden you're watching Jim Cramer and you hear his talk and you think you know more. So
Jim Cramer is good entertainment, but not probably good advice.
Yeah.
The Jim Cramer show, so when he goes on CNBC, he might have a topic in the morning, just something to ramble about.
Yep.
When he does he still do that evening show where he hits all buttons and says bye, sell and all that?
I have no idea. Needless to say, I don't watch them. So.
I'm not a big fan because he really gets people wrapped around the axle. He gives some advice that it's entertainment. It's not advice.
It's 100% entertainment. Yep.
Well, there's a reason why Jim Cramer no longer holds any securities licenses is because he would have massive fines for saying what he says if he were licensed. But if he's unlicensed, he's an entertainer. So just think about that.
Yep.
The advice can be in some cases so poor that he could get sued for it if he had a securities license. So he gave up his securities licenses so he could make money as an entertainer.
You know, it's funny you say that, Scott, because a lot of times when we sit down with folks and we see what they're doing, you know, it's kind of the same situation. If we were doing what they were doing in their financial planning, we'd be setting ourselves up for a lawsuit.
Yeah, and we don't want to.
So
we are always careful to speak that a certain way too. But sometimes we've had some extreme cases where I have to speak it.
Yep.
We have a gentleman and his wife are now clients, but when they first came to us, he had their whole life savings in 3 tech stocks. And it's, you know, if something goes wrong here, you're losing at least half, and it can happen in like a day, 3 days, 5 days. And then does it come back, or do you wait 7 years, or what happens?
Yeah.
And so one way I've gotten through to a couple people, I don't like to say it, but sometimes people have to hear the truth, and that's what our job is. Sometimes I have to level of folks, say, listen, if I did with your money what you're doing with your money, I would lose my license. You would sue me rightfully and get a judgment against me. I could be in really big trouble for doing what you're doing with your money. So, you know, there's a difference between taking $100 and going to Rivers Casino. I don't go there, but take $100, go to Rivers Casino. When you lose the $100, go home. Don't get more money out. Okay.
Yep.
There's your entertainment for that 5 minutes. You're done.
Don't gamble with your retirement portfolio.
Yeah, don't take $1 million to Rivers Casino. All right.